eyesight. Is there the high drive? Deep center. Go, go, go. We're out of here. We're out of here. Say ya, playa.
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A dog pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
All right, everyone, Happy New Year, and welcome to the Cherokee North Gym, where we've got a classic matchup to open up the new year between the Bishop Eustace Crusaders and the Cherokee Chiefs. I'm Dan Wilkins here as we kick off 2025, or rather tip off 2025, with a great matchup up here in Marlton. Like we said, this is a matchup where the team that has won the last 4 matchups, Cherokee, doesn't always seem to be the favorite. People doubt these guys. People don't like their slow defense-based slow defense-based play. But that's how they roll. The last time we saw the Chiefs on the floor was in the first round of the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs versus Cherry Hill East. That was a game that ended 33-29. It was a dismally low-scoring game. But these guys are ready to play. Whether it's a low-scoring affair or a high-scoring affair, Eric Cassidy and the Chiefs are ready to go. Now, of course, Bishop Eustace with Bob Falconero, they're 5-0 to start the year. Falconero, in his 19th season as a Crusader, reached his 300th career win on December the 27th in a 5-point victory over Cinnaminson in the Cinnaminson Winter Classic. Now that these guys are on the road again, the boys from Pennsauken, the Catholic boys from Pennsauken, are now rolling again, as Cherokee in the American division of the Olympics still have not played a division game. They won't do so until later this week. But for Bishop Eustace, they're on a roll, like we said. They've played 3 of their 5 games in tournament plays, and they've won all 5 of them. So who's to count them out? They also beat Camden on, I think it was right around opening night, by 1 point. It was Camden's first South Jersey loss since 2019. Now, of course, Camden had lost in other capacities, like in out-of-state brackets and, Jersey State playoffs and whatnot, but they had never lost in South Jersey to a South Jersey opponent, including a divisional one, in 5 years. That's how good they are. Now, not to count out Camden or anything, but Bishop Eustace beating them was an incredible accomplishment, and they have been riding the energy of that with Bob Falconero along the way all season. They're going to introduce starting lineups. Look like they're going to do an anthem first. We will take a quick break as we've got Eustace and Cherokee, a classic Olympic Conference matchup, right after this. All right, so your starting lineup for Bishop Eustace. Unfortunately, we did not get a starting lineup in time from Eustace, so we'll introduce them as they get out onto the floor. It's number 3, Delano Mann. Number 10, Braden Colleen, the senior. Number 12, Gus Myers. Number 24, Derek DeCastro. And number 25, Tommy Semiraglio. So it should be a good one here on a Thursday night as we enter the first weekend of 2025. And let's introduce the Cherokee Chiefs while we're at it as well. For Eric Cassidy and his crew, he's got Judd Holt at the guard position. Darwin Walker, the second, joins him. Tony Fuchsia wearing number 4 tonight. Junior class of 2026, Louis Galasso. And Cooper Birdie, a left-hander committed to Rutgers Camden for baseball in the spring of 2026. Should be a fun one. Cherokee wearing all orange, Eustace in the white. They seem to be ready to go as Coach Falconero talks it over with his crew on the sideline. Like we said, and Dan Wilkins here with David Cohen this evening on a brisk Thursday evening from the Cherokee North Gym. We're glad we're inside and not outside here to open up the new year of 2025. In the year 2024, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting at 197 broadcasts. I don't know if we'll be able to top that number from last year, but 106,000 views on YouTube as well. And for the folks watching now, you will be our first. Welcome 2025 here in South Jersey. First possession of the night and of the year goes to Semiraglio, the senior guard, out towards the volleyball line, swinging it out from atop the key. Back towards the right wing for Colleen. Moving it for Semiraglio. He loses it. Holt got on top of it. Holt has the ball in a scramble. Mann goes for it, and a jump ball will be called. Just really starting out of the gate swinging there. A good possession for Bishop Eustace, just didn't end the way that they wanted to. Judd Holt fell on top of it and got to work right away. Tony Fuchsia bringing it up the floor for the Chiefs. Passes it out to Galasso. Back to Fuchsia. Cuts to the right side, moving over. From the top of the key, now it's Walker moving back out to Galasso. He needs to find somebody, now gets it back out to beyond the arc. And this is what Cherokee's all about. They're not going to score the most points, but they pass the ball a lot, and they want to make sure that they always find the right way and the right person to throw the ball to. They're never going to rush a possession. They're never going to, kind of bend or break on the offensive side. Well, I mean, they did there, but in Cherokee's winning ways, what they do is they just try to melt the defenders a little bit by passing the ball so much. It's almost like a kaleidoscope. You don't know where the ball is. One of those magic eye puzzles. They pass the ball so much you kind of forget where you are for a second, and they always keep you on your toes. Braden Colleen is out at the logo. Neither team has attempted a shot in the first 90 seconds. It's just been a game of hot potato so far here on the North Gym floor. Colleen has it, taking his time, guarded by Birdie. Now moving back out to Semiraglio. Now moving inside from the semicircle, back out to Colleen. This is our first shot attempt of the night, and an offensive foul will be called. Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, for Coach Bob Falconero, 19 seasons as the Bishop Eustace head coach. He reached his 300th career win in a 66-61 win over Cinnaminson back on December 27th. 301 and 191 in his career going into today, taking over the position back in 2005. From the semicircle, that shot falls, and not only do we have our first bucket of the night, but it's in favor of the Chiefs. And Galasso is the one who banks it in for the first shot of the evening. Just a second shot attempt overall. This one goes from the big fella for 3, no good. And the rebound goes to Darwin Walker. Cutting across the floor to Galasso into the corner, moving inside for Walker. He's up, gets blocked. Got blocked real good there by Adamanis. Now he brings it back from Semiraglio to Adamanis. Feeds the ball inside, and a foul is going to be called on the Chiefs. So 1 foul each here in the first quarter. From 3, no good, off the mark. Like we said, Cherokee's been quite good in these prior matchups, being same schools in the conference but not in the same division. Eustace in the Olympic National, Cherokee in the Olympic American. A steal goes awry, bounce pass into the corner. Walker had a lot of room there but didn't take the shot. But like we said, this is what we're talking about here. They're just passing the ball around like a game of hot potato, and they want to make sure that the shot that they take is the best possible one. You know, it's kind of an anti-Clayton, if you will, or an anti-CCTS. I think they're the other school in South Jersey that runs that kind of run-and-gun offense that tries to maximize scoring at all possible avenues. That shot off the front of the mark, but an offensive rebound goes for 3, off the mark again. Oh, my goodness. This has the makings of what could be a historically low-scoring first quarter. This one's inside. Contact, foul on Eustace. I'm sorry, on Cherokee. Apologies there. This one will go to Braden Colleen, who will inbound. The senior at 139 points last year, and now another foul is going to go on Cherokee. Colleen inbounds again after a 3rd foul. Almost went for a catch and shoot, didn't get it. Now he moves inside, feeds it out with a great pass, and a 3. Delano Mann picks up the first points for the Crusaders, and it's 3-2. Eustace leads, and we're 5 points and 5 minutes into this game. Mann had 60 points last year. He's almost matched that. He's got 43 points, 12 rebounds this year. He put up 11 and 7 versus Bishop Guilfoyle of Pennsylvania on December 21st, and Delano Mann gets it again. So Bishop Eustace, after one of the most exacerbated scoring lulls that I've seen in a long time, jumps out to a 3-point lead in the early going. Eric Cassidy calls his first timeout and the first overall timeout of the game. We've got 3 minutes, 33 seconds remaining. It's Eustace 5, Cherokee 2. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the North Gym here at Cherokee. I'm Dan Wilkins with David Cohen on the buttons tonight. This broadcast is brought to you by the Rowan College of South Jersey Roadrunners Athletic Department, led by head coach Brandon Williams. Some of these athletes on the floor could be wearing the Roadrunner gold and blue come 2026. Prospective athletes who wish to join the Roadrunners for a 2-year route, which excels on the floor and in the classroom as well, should visit rcroadrunners.com for a prospective athlete form and follow them on social media at RC Roadrunners on all platforms. Judd Holt has this one moving out beyond the volleyball line. Back to Fuchsia. He gets this one out to Walker. A good screen there. Gets blocked. No foul. I think that one might have been all ball. In defense of the Chiefs there, I think that one might have been all ball. And the refs concur. So a clean block within the final 3 minutes of the first, heaving the ball across the floor. Now a bounce pass to the semicircle, moving inside through traffic, rolls over the rim. Rebound by Fuchsia. And Fuchsia again gliding this one up the floor. A first-year varsity starter here. 18 points on the season, a season-high 7 versus Sterling. A 69-64 loss back on Christmas Eve, December 23rd. And that one falls for Darwin Walker, the senior. Another second-year varsity starter who had less than 50 points last year, 33 to be exact. He put up 12 and 3 in the Jimmy V tournament win over Gloucester Catholic on December 21st in this very gym. Bishop Eustace matches with a shot, and it's a 3-point lead for the Crusaders once again, 7-4. Holt back to Fuchsia. I mean, right now the guiding action that, Cherokee's trying to go for here is just not rushing things. They're down by 3, but they know how much time they have left to play in this game. And that's what Eric Cassidy likes about his team, is that it's slow but steady wins the race. And Bishop Eustace right now trying to outscore them at every opportunity to kind of force the hand for Cherokee. They just did it there, and now it's 9-6. The scoring is heating up again. But what they want to do, what Bishop Eustace wants to do, is they want to force Cherokee into doing something that they don't want to do. They don't want to let Cherokee run their own offense. They want to force the issue and make it so that Cherokee has to score on those quick plays and fast breaks instead of taking their time. That shot from the elbow by Holt was no good as we enter the final minute 15 of the first quarter. It's Colleen into the corner. A quick pass from Semareglio to get rid of it. And Eustace is the first double digits as Dylan Adamatis gets it from inside. Adamatis had 279 points and, shockingly, despite his tall stature, only had 29 rebounds. He has scored double-digit points in 4 of 5 games this year, 17 versus Camden, 23 versus Bishop Guilfoyle, 16 versus Cinnaminson, and 24-6 versus Princeton Day. Bishop Eustace's last win in non-public crossover action on December 28th in more Cinnaminson holiday action. Less than 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. Colleen and Semareglio well behind the volleyball line. Moving it back out to Colleen. As we said, Colleen, the senior, had 139 points for himself last year, along with 26 assists. He put up double digits versus Seneca on opening night, a game that Bishop Eustace won by 1 point. 5 seconds to play. Moving inside, one more pass, and a foul stops the clock with 1 second left. Nobody's really at risk of a bonus except for Cherokee. That is their 4th foul. Probably not going to get a 5th before the end of the quarter. However, to close out the first quarter, we will have Dylan Adamatis again at the line, the 6'6" junior. I mean, maybe those statistics aren't accurately reported, because I honestly do not believe for a second that a 6'6" junior only had 29 rebounds last year for the amount of points that he had. That's just me, though. 1 second left. Holtz lets it fly. It wouldn't have counted anyway because it hit the rafter. It hit one of the girls' basketball headers up there on the top of the board. But for speaking of banners at the end of the first quarter, the 2010 state champions of boys basketball trail by 7. 13-6 after 1 frame. We'll be right back. Starting to quarter number 2 here from the Cherokee North Gym, as it's Bishop Eustace 13, Cherokee 6. Again, Bishop Eustace off to a 5-0 start. NJ Athletics has them ranked at number 19 in the state. All of the South Jersey representatives, the few that there are, as that one misses the mark for Semareglio, they have Camden at 6. They have Paul Sixth at 10. They have Camden Catholic at 18, Bishop Eustace at 19, and those are the only South Jersey representatives that they have. They have 4 schools in total and only 1 public school. And, you know, Camden themselves have been hit with a handful of controversies over the years. And no matter what side you are on for those, it certainly begs the question, you know, what is New Jersey best at, as there's a turnover there. You know, considering that we look at these top 20 rankings, the top 5 are all North Jersey: St. Peter's Prep, Union Catholic, Bergen Catholic, St. Rose and Shore Conference, and Hudson Catholic. First of all, 4 of those 5 are prep schools or Catholic schools. And then the next best thing is in the 6th spot. But Camden did lose at the hands. Oh, that's going to be a backcourt. No points yet in the second quarter, but yeah, I mean, a top 20 list and only 4 representatives in South Jersey. I mean, it certainly is an interesting talking point, because depending on the sport, that could be entirely turned on its head. You know, you would look at a New Jersey baseball top 20, and I think you'd have 12 or 13 representatives in the state's top 20 represented out of, you know, south of Trenton. A hard fall by 2 players there on the floor. Cherokee's number 23. Cherokee's number 23, Jeremiah Shields. This one's fired across the floor. Bounce pass, 3, top of the key, off the mark. Judd Holt, the one on the rebound, right-handed pass, fired across the floor. Back to Galasso, no good. Shields couldn't pick up a rebound. Moving out for man. This one's up for 3, air ball. And Cherokee's going to let him hear it. They like to make it known. That's blocked on the shot by Chris Walters. Bishop Eustace denies it. It's over for man. Passes it to Colleen. So to have it known, if this next 30 seconds goes scoreless, no points will have been scored in the first 3 minutes of both quarters. And that's, with the pace of how the play is going right now, another block. Second chance goes to nullify my point, if you will. But how about it? Cherokee is on the board, and both teams are on the board in the second quarter, 13-8. Actually, no, Bishop Eustace still hasn't scored. How about it? Into the corner. He is wide open. 3! Semiraglio with a country mile to spare. Drills it from outside, and it's 16-8. 8-point lead for the Crusaders, their biggest lead of the evening. Semiraglio coming into this game with 700 points. Would need a strong senior season in the month of January and February to close it out with 1,000. And a foul is going to be called. Looks like on Eustace. And Semiraglio, a guy that we saw last year in what at the time was our most viewed broadcast of all time, Bishop Eustace and Gloucester Catholic in the South Jersey non-public semifinal from last year. Semiraglio has had double-digit points in all 5 games this season. 19, 14, 18, 23, and 19. That 23 with versus Cinnaminson again. Oh, look at that. That's another block. We got to see how many blocks they have at the end of the night. Another foul is going to be called. Foul's going to be on Delano Mann. And checking in for the Crusaders is number 12, the sophomore Gus Myers. As Mann gets hit with his second foul, Coach Falconero decides to play it safe and send him to the bench. Pass to Holt from beyond. Pump fakes. Now it goes to Walters. Back to Holt. He's moving in. Bounce pass to Walters. The ball gets thrown off the rim in an act of desperation. Now it's Colleen going down the floor. Makes a man fall. And a foul. Another offensive foul against Bishop Eustace. That's their second. They've had at least one in both quarters, an offensive foul where a shot got denied. Now Sammy Semiraglio is coming in as Braden Colleen on his second foul goes to the bench. You can see one of the assistant coaches down there, Eric Cassidy, sitting down, assisted by Ryan McKinney, Mike Albanese, Matt Schultz, Tim Gallagher, and Corey Brown. That shot gets denied. Tommy Semiraglio moving out for Adamanis. Tommy and Sammy, the junior and senior brothers, are both on the floor here. Semiraglio at the top of the key. Sammy, that is. He gets the ball, feeds it out into the corner, moving inside for Tommy. This one goes to Ian Glassmacher. Foul. No shot, no basket. But it looks like the Crusaders will go to the stripe here for just the second time today. 5 fouls combined in the second quarter so far. 3 against the Crusaders, including an offensive foul, and 2 against Cherokee. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy today with the most organic food products available in South Jersey. Along with that, you can also get top-notch toys, cages, accessories, and much, much more. Visit 7 days a week at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon. And also, if you're a small business owner interested in advertising with Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, drop us a line with an advertising inquiry at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. We'll send you an advertising flyer with information on how to get involved in the advertising game in front of over 100,000 viewers in South Jersey. Galasso at the center, now moving to Walters. This one's to number 15, John Comito. Now it's Holt moving inside with the right hand, in trouble. Oh, that one almost stuck on top of the rim. Now it's Tommy Semiraglio going down again. Pulls up, and he defers to his friends from beyond the arc, Sammy Semiraglio and Dylan Adamanis, respectively. Tommy takes his time there. Tommy Semiraglio out to Ian Glassmacher, the 6'3" senior forward. Still out into the near corner. Spins, fires, and it rattles in on a victory lap. That's 19-8, an 11-point lead for the Crusaders. Heaves it across the floor, a high pass to Comito. Bounce pass. Up. Good. And a late foul as well. And Bishop Eustace gets called for their, looks like their 4th foul of the quarter. And it's also the 2nd foul against Ian Glassmacher since he came in. At the line for Cherokee is Darwin Walker, the senior, for the and one, and he's got it. 19-11 as Cherokee finally, after 15 minutes of play, crosses the double-digit mark. And immediately feeding it to Adamanis. I like what Bishop Eustace is doing here. They're doing their best to kind of torment the Cherokee offense and forcing them to make plays that they don't want to make, because they know that if they don't act fast, well, Bishop Eustace is just going to wreck their party. As a 3-ball, good, knocked down by Galasso. 21-14. But yeah, right now at the moment, what Bishop Eustace is doing, they're just trying to disrupt the pace. They know Cherokee likes to take it slow, so what do you got to do? As that one gets thrown off of Galasso. mean, the best situation here is to counter one thing with the complete opposite. Eustace wants to run fast. Cherokee wants to run slow. They know Eustace has enough guys on the bench to have stamina for it. And Cherokee might have less varsity guys that are listed and able to play that kind of ball. So if you're able to get their stamina down, especially going into the break, that'll certainly be some tough conversations for Eric Cassidy and his crew. Another one by Dylan Adamanis inside the 1 minute mark of the half. Holt fires it across the floor to Walker. Now gets it back to Holt for three. No good. Almost pulled in the rebound, but now Glassmacher is able to go, and there is a foul. I believe this one's on Cherokee. That would be their third, and it is. The foul is against Walker, and now Glassmacher will inbound here with 40 seconds left in the half. Bounce pass to Tommy Cimareglio. There's apparently 3 Cimareglios on this team. Sammy, Tommy, and Frank. Haven't seen any of number 31 this evening, however. It's Tommy who passes it to Ian Glassmacher. Under 30 seconds to play. Both players beyond the volleyball line. It's back to a nice pass that gets intercepted and lays it in. Cooper Birdie is the one who took that one. Now 10 seconds left. Eustace time for one more play. If Cherokee doesn't steal it, there's 4 seconds left and another foul. So deja vu from the first quarter as Bishop Eustace will end their quarter, or effectively end their quarter, with a foul. Except that was against Cherokee, and it wasn't a shooting foul either. So now both teams are at 4 fouls with 2.9 seconds left. Let's see what they can do to end the half here. Passes it across the floor, pulls up for three. Off the mark, unable to get a second shot. And we will go to the break with a game closer than we thought, but still in the hands of Bishop Eustace after 16 minutes of play. It's the Crusaders 23 and the Chiefs 16 after one half of play. We'll be back after 10 minutes here on DWB, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, as we tip off the new year in the Olympic Conference. We'll be right back. In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Donning the number 34 and the shortstop for this one. First pitch. There's a line drive into center field. That one is going to drop, and it's going to go to the outfield wall. One run will score. Spence is going to make a huge arc around third. She will score to make it 3-0. And here comes the runner to score. It's an inside the park home run for Ella Hayes to make it a 4-0 game. A 3-run inside the Parker to the 2. Will lead it off for the Senators. Chase Rollins, the player manager for CHP, gets it started with a ball upstairs, and we are underway in game 1. 1-0. That one is hit well out towards left, and it is gone off the top of the goalpost. Shane Adamski with a thunderous start to his playoff series. Second pitch of the game, a solo homer to left, and before I could even write the first name down in my scorecard, it's 1 zilch. Excuse me, Goldberg is a shortstop tonight, but he had a 400 average in 2023 as a junior. A homer in each of his sophomore and junior campaigns, 331 career mark and a 430 career slugging percentage. And speaking of home runs, there's a fly ball to left, and it's gone! Devin Goldberg answers on opening day with a first pitch rocket to left, and it's 1-0 Bridgewater. We were just talking about the long ball, and he stomps on the plate, mobbed at home, and Goldberg, the leadoff man, with a swing of gold. It's 1-0. Launches one foul. See, Mostero's doing us a service here. Or excuse me, D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro is doing us a service here. He's letting us have this conversation by having a long at-bat. But a lot of people are still caught up in the D1 or bust mentality. Listen to this crowd. Listen to this crowd. We'll talk about that later. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Clapping it up here for the Roadrunners. 2-2. Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! 3-run homer! D'Alessandro! And it's a 1-run game at the crack of the bat. 5-4. 3-run shot to center field. Trailing towards the right center, and the cleanup man does exactly what the position orders. Cleaning up. And he does it incredibly well with a 5-4 game. He battles for 11 pitches and makes
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. It's hard to. Welcome back here in the third quarter from the Cherokee North Gym. Bishop Eustace 23, Cherokee 16, and it's been a very weird game, but also if you know anything about Cherokee basketball, this is not weird at all. This is very much the norm for the Chiefs and Eric Cassidy. But right now what Bishop Eustace is doing best is they're controlling the pace. They're making Cherokee uncomfortable, and what they're doing is they're making sure that the Chiefs don't get to have those long, drawn-out possessions that end up turning into either good shots or turnovers. Because like I said, what Bishop Eustace is doing here is they're making Cherokee uncomfortable. They're making sure that they are uneasy about what is going on. They're making sure that they get these quick plays. They heave it down the floor. They pass it into the corner. Meanwhile, Cherokee takes it slower. They pass like 5-6 times beyond the arc. Then they move inside a little bit. Then they move outside. Cherokee's objective is to get the best shot possible. Meanwhile, Bishop Eustace is trying to get the most points possible. Like we said, we were here for the South Jersey Group 4 playoff game between Cherokee and Cherry Hill East last year, and it was only 32-29. The final score was 32-29. I think it was actually lower scoring at the half. So what Cherokee needs to focus on here is not getting intimidated by Bishop Eustace on defense, because they have some tall guys in their front court. So if they can get past them, maybe rely on the three ball a little bit more, they'll be able to get back into the game quicker than you think. We are going to turn our attention back to the center stage of Cherokee High School in the North Gym. As I'm Dan Wilkins here with David Cohen, as we ring in the new year with our first of many broadcasts in 2025. Like we said, we're looking at the DWB Wrapped, which basically summarized our entire year, and we actually live streamed 197, different games in the year 2024. As Cherokee has the first possession of the second half, passing it to Judd Holt. High pass, keeps it in for Furcia. Now it's Galasso, back to Furcia. He creates space at the elbow. Now it's a three. Galasso, too much. It's off the mark. This one's Colleen, back to Tommy Semareglio. One of three Semareglio brothers either on the bench or on the floor. We saw a bit of Sammy Semareglio, the junior, earlier today. Frank is apparently hurt. From what we heard, he is not dressed on the Bishop Eustace sideline. Glassmacher. A nice pass, but an offensive foul gets called. Eustace has been hit heavily with those. That's the third offensive foul that has been called against Bishop Eustace in this game, one per quarter. And what's interesting is that neither team has broken the foul limit here today. A couple teams have gotten close, but nobody has gotten to the charity stripe with a yellow bonus. That one is denied. Colleen going ahead, taking his time, pulls up, now moving inside from the paint, off the left hand and good. And Bishop Eustace is the first team to score in the first 2 minutes of a quarter. I can't believe I'm saying that now in the third, but there you have it. Furcia at the top. Oh, Galasso almost had it. A botched pass now stays alive, and we are going to have a travel. If there's anything that I can say about this game at this current juncture, it's that it's a very well-polished game to say that you haven't seen a lot of travels, you haven't seen pushing or shoving, you haven't seen technical fouls. These guys are just playing team basketball, and for the most part, the referees have swallowed the whistle, which I am all for. I'm all for letting the kids play. As a high pass off the hands of Adamanis goes out of bounds. You know, both student sections are into it, and this is the nature of the Olympic Conference. All of these schools are big schools that have a lot of skin in the game, and they have a lot to be excited about. But Cherokee on the possession here, finding Holt, three. Wide left, rebound by Adamanis again. Now it's man. fires the pass across the way. Moving in. Blocked. No whistle, except for that one where the ball is out of bounds. I mean, we've seen this referee crew before. We actually have seen them. It almost feels like we're following this referee crew because we saw them at Pittman for the holiday tournament a couple of days ago before the new year. Heavy guarding, but the pass rolls out. Eustace had a hand on it. Now they continue on the possession with man into the corner for Glassmacher. Three! Gets knocked down from the corner. Now it's Judd Holt who has the possession as it's a 12-point lead for the Crusaders. They have pretty much had the lead from the time they first scored. I remember very well, it took them almost half of the first quarter to score. Now they've never looked back. Here goes another one from Galasso, no good. Colleen, got an elbow to the face. Colleen not happy at all as somebody on Cherokee down there got an elbow to the face after Colleen tried to rip the ball away after a rebound. And the orange and black respond accordingly. Holt will inbound, and Coach Falconero again trying to plead his case there as Eustace gets hit with their second foul. Pass to Walker. He is guarded heavily in the corner. Now moving inside to the baseline. It's Holt again. Spinning to his right, swiped at by Semareglio. Now from three-point range off the mark. And this is going to be called, I believe, on Walker. Yeah, it's going to be on Walker. Right now, the dilemma for Cherokee is that, I think that they're trying to wait for Bishop Eustace to make mistakes, and I think that they have to realize that Bishop Eustace is a 5-0 team. They're far too good to make petty mistakes. And not to say that they won't make a petty mistake, but not enough to magically make 12 points go away. Cherokee has to start playing into them a little bit. They're guarding them very closely. They're obviously not getting fouled for it. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They had the lead for about 3 minutes, but that's only because they didn't score. Eustace caught on, and then they started to score more efficiently, and they haven't lost the lead since. That one's out of bounds. Cherokee ball. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students take their New Jersey state driving test. Take their New Jersey state driving test with Harper. Pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite E of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman as Holt drains a three. I was going to say for Cherokee, Birdie would be a little bit lucky that he didn't get called for a foul, for a delay of game warning. He did pass the ball right to the Eustace player, but if that pass is off the mark, you're sure that ref is going to be calling a delay of game. They certainly have been in the games that we've been playing, that we've been seeing them this year. Shot is waved off for an offensive foul. How about it for offensive fouls today? They've got 4 of them. This is the first against Eric Cassidy and the Chiefs. After the offensive foul, both teams have 2 fouls in the third quarter. Here we go. Nice behind the back move. Fouled on his way up. As Galasso took the shot. And it looks like we will have action from the charity stripe. 3:14 left in the third. Here from the very nice, very well-lit Cherokee North Gym. As Galasso will take 2, the junior class of 2026. For our next broadcasts on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we join you on Saturday, January 4th in Pennsauken for non-league action between the Collingswood Panthers and the Pennsauken Indians. And then we go back to the Olympic Conference on January 7th for a high-powered matchup between the Cherry Hill East Cougars and the Eastern Vikings. That might be an important game for both Cherokee fans and Bishop Eustace fans. Then on January 9th, we've got a doubleheader on the RCSJ campus between Deptford and GCIT. We'll be covering both the girls and boys game, but that game will not be on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. It instead will be through the GCIT TV networks, and I will just be calling public address. I'm sorry, not public address, play-by-play. Anyways, 3:06 left in the third. Timeout called. Seems like we've been very light on the timeouts today, but we will also take a break. 28-21, 7-point lead for the Crusaders. Welcome back. 28-21, moving inside, and it's good. Bishop Eustace moving in for what is now a 10-point lead as Adamanis goes through. Holt into the corner. Now it goes back out to the top of the key. Now it's Galasso, double guarded, who had the last touch there. Believe Bishop Eustace ball. That sounds about right. No, it will be Cherokee ball. Judd Holt bringing it in. Feeds it out. Galasso, catch and shoot. 3, knocks it down. Luis Galasso getting it through and cutting that deficit to 6. As Cherokee not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but just trying to find ways to score effectively. That is no good. Here is Galasso bringing it down the floor. He might pull up for one of these. He's pulling everybody out. Feeds it to Holt on a handoff to the right side. Now pass over inside. Holt, right hand, off the right side of the window, and it's a 2-possession game. Once again, 30-26. Colleen out to Semiraglio. It is Glassmacker. No good. Second chance rattles in. 32-26. Seems like the student section has gotten a little bit more creative than the last time I saw them. He's got a lot of room. Cooper Birdie. Back to Holt. Left hand floater. No good and no foul. Semiraglio fires into the corner for Colleen. Now it's back to Glassmacker. He moves inside. Adamanis fouled and one. No, the shot's going to get waved off. They're going to call no shot and no shooting foul. I can't say I agree with that one. The foul is on Cooper Birdie. It's the 3rd team foul, 2nd personal foul for the sophomore Birdie, but that looked pretty standard to me. That shot rattles in. Adamanis getting redemption there after a foul didn't go their way. Now it's Galasso. He had a man wide open, but in double coverage, it takes a couple of hops and falls in. 34-28. This game is already more high scoring than the last one we saw in this gym back in late February. Here's a 3. Air ball. Oh, that ball gets swiped away by Glassmacker. He's got it. 40 seconds left in the quarter. Colleen has a lot of space, working through traffic. Right hand floater, and it goes. Working through the motions there as we enter the final 30 seconds of the third. 36-28. This lead has been pretty consistently between 4 and 10 points for the Crusaders. They have not let Cherokee get back into this one entirely, and they have not pulled away with it entirely. They've kind of been doing their own thing. It's mano-a-mano. I score, you score. Nobody's really gotten a huge edge here. Holt, open, 3, no good. Rebound with 3 seconds left. Galasso off the elbow, catches the air ball, unable to get it. And after a handful of shots did not fall and a few missing the rim, Cherokee will go into the final frame trailing by 8. Bishop Eustace, like we said, has been consistent all evening. And now they've got one final shot to improve to 6-0 in the season, where just last week Bob Falconero reached his 300th win as head coach. We'll be right back here on DWB. We've got 8 more minutes to play in regulation, 36-28 with the visiting Crusaders in front. Cherokee's dance team just did a good performance on the floor there, but I'll tell you what else is a good performance on the floor. This game, Bishop Eustace 36, Cherokee 28. In a game that has been very, very, I wouldn't say lenient, but very light on the fouls. No team has reached the bonus in any of the first 3 quarters today. And how about that? A foul and one right off the get-go as we were on the subject. Double-digit lead for Eustace now, and this will send, with just 13 seconds into the 4th quarter, it will send number 11, Dylan Adamanis, the 6'6" junior, to the stripe. It's good. Adamanis finished with 16 points in Bishop Eustace's win over Camden, as Galasso almost had that one drop in, but no good. As we said, Bishop Eustace's win over Camden in December was the first loss by Camden to a South Jersey opponent since 2019. It had been almost 5 years since that happened. Which, I mean, that's incredible, the dominance that a program like Camden has. Adamanis drills it again. He has been catching fire in this second half, and Bishop Eustace is loving it. They've got a 13-point lead, their biggest of the night, and they lead over the home Cherokee Chiefs 41-28. Let's talk about the road ahead for both of these teams as we'll stay on the air. If Bishop Eustace wins this one, they'll improve to 6-0. They've already won over Camden and Seneca early on in the season by 1 point each. They beat, Bishop Guilfoyle on December 21st, and then Cinnaminson and Princeton Day. They had a clean sweep in the Cinnaminson Holiday Showcase. Then after today, they've got 4 straight home games, and 7 of their next 8 games are at home at Bishop Eustace. They are home to Willingboro on Saturday the 4th, home to Camden Catholic on the 9th, Lenape on the 11th, and Cherry Hill East on the 14th. They are away at PVI on the 16th, home to Medford Tech on the 18th. That time is to be determined. And then they are home to to Camden Eastside and Woodbury on January 21st and 23rd. For Eric Cassidy and the Chiefs, his guys are 3-0. A loss would bring them to 500. They've lost to Cherry Hill West and Sterling so far and have won 3 of their last 4 over Gloucester Catholic, Vineland, and Deptford. Now, they have played in 3 different showcases this year. They beat GC in the Jimmy V Showcase in this very gym. They beat Vineland in the Marty Darrer Showcase, and they beat Deptford in the Brook Ball Winter Classic, a first one for them. They have back-to-back home games after tonight, Washington Township on Saturday the 4th at 12, and 6 o'clock on the 7th versus Lenape. Then they have 4 of their next 5 on the road versus East Side. Then they're home to Rancocas Valley, away at Pennsauken in a tournament, and away at Eastern. That shot falls for Cherokee, 41-30. As the shot from inside cuts the lead for Eustace to 11. The lead was as low as 4 in the third quarter. That shot goes, almost goaltending. Got awfully lucky there, as Robert Falconero looks for what would be win number 302 in his 19-year head coaching career as a Crusader. Guarding with distance. Moving inside for Cherokee. Galasso denied by Adamanis. We're going to have to see what his stat line is. He has been nuts tonight. Just in terms of shots, rebounds, and blocks, he seems to be able to do it all. 3, Holt, off the mark. Samaraglio bringing it down the floor, moving in with a lot of incoming speed, having to bring that one somewhere. Taking his time, now a feed inside to Darwin Walker. And it's back to an 11-point game, 43-32, Crusaders over the Chiefs. That's a roller. We've got a scramble. Oh, wow. He's got a knee on his face. And Samaraglio, with both coaches on the floor, calls a timeout. I mean, Colleen went down there, and his knee was on the face of Judd Holt. Could have been a lot worse there, but Bishop Eustace calls a timeout before things get a little bit crazy. Both coaches have 3 timeouts remaining. We will take a quick break. 5:47 in regulation. It is 43-32, an 11-point lead for Bishop Eustace. Welcome back to Cherokee Country. A very good crowd on this Thursday night. We're up here in the top of the grandstands here in Cherokee. As always, big thanks to Eric Cassidy and the Cherokee Athletic Department for having us out this evening. It is a wonderful gym to be in, and it's a good game so far as we enter the final 6 minutes of play. At least final 6 minutes of regulation. The JV game went to overtime when we were setting up here. And it almost went to double overtime if they got an inside layup off. So I'm just saying. Colleen fouled. Colleen again expressing his displeasure. He'll go to the line, as it looks like that foul is on, that would be, oh no, they did, okay, so they did call it against Walker. That's his 4th. I had the numbers reversed in my head. I was thinking that's not against Tony Fuchsia, but no, it's against Darwin Walker, and it's his 4th personal foul. 44-32. Cherokee looking to get in his head, and they do, as he misses the free throw. Too far off the mark. Galasso controlling the offense here. 5:15 to play. Cherokee and Bishop Eustace is a long-standing rivalry, but Cherokee has won the last 4 matchups between these two teams. So this would be Cherokee's first loss to Bishop Eustace since 2021. In that regard, that one's a high pass. Over to Semareglio, right hand, rattles in. 14-point lead, again extending that biggest lead of the evening. Galasso, sliding with the right foot, spinning, fitting it from mid-range. Off the mark, tries to swipe at it for a rebound, no good. Now it's man, he's got room, bounce pass, slam! Bringing the house down in the final 5 minutes. Dylan Adamanis, 48-32. That was a beautiful bounce pass from Delano Mann. He gets blocked, maybe a hand in the face. They're all over the place right now. Semareglio guarded by Galasso. Now it goes over to Colleen. High pass goes over the head of a Cherokee player. A beautiful dive to keep the ball in bounds and to keep the possession in the hands of the gold and white and black. Another high pass. Not a lot of dribbling on this possession, but now it goes to Semareglio inside for Glassmacher, who smacks it off the glass, as his name suggests. And Bishop Eustace is over the bicentennial mark, I guess you could say, and it's 50-32. 3. Galasso with contact, couldn't get it. Only 2 fouls. Oh, that's a big hit. No whistles there. Moving back across the way again after a turnover from the elbow. Good. It gets drained. And the shot falls for Cooper Birdie, as we said, left-handed pitcher in the springtime, committed to Rutgers Camden for baseball, home of the Scarlet Raptors. He's quite a good left-hander himself. We've seen him a couple times with the Chiefs. This one's going the other way again. Oh, I am shocked that there was not a whistle there. They're letting the kids play, and the shot goes. Bishop Eustace's. Wow, they're loving it. I apologize. Birdie is not committed to Rutgers Camden. I don't know if he committed anywhere, to be honest. He may have been committed there and then decommitted. I'm not sure. But again, he's also a class of 2027 guy, so he could very well not be able to commit like that yet. Some banter back and forth between the two student sections here. Semareglio. 18-point lead for Cherokee in the final 2 minutes in what will be a statement win for the Crusaders as they continue on their undefeated path. And another foul here. I mean, those final minutes of the fourth quarter have gone by incredibly quickly. It felt like just a few minutes ago we were in 5 minutes, 15 seconds. But now it's 1:34, and Eric Cassidy's bringing in, looks like both of these teams are bringing in some of the reserves. So it seems like all the starters are going out at once. In for Eustace is Derek DeCastro. And wearing a different jersey on the floor is number 4. Number 20 to 23. We don't even have names for most of these guys because they're not even on the NJ.com rosters. The only guy we do have is Derek DeCastro, who seems to be wearing a proper varsity jersey. Seems like 3 guys are wearing a JV jersey, 2 are wearing a varsity. 3 ball off the mark, off the top of the backboard and out of bounds. But really, for Bishop Eustace, a team that NJ Athletics ranked as 18th in the state, I mean, these guys are good. These guys are definitely deserving of probably even a higher position. Taking a very good team like Cherokee, who plays a very tough schedule, and then beating them by 18 is an accomplishment that, you really think is, some people don't really factor in as much as they should how much you beat a team by. But considering Bishop Eustace beat Camden by a point, but then in one game before beat Seneca by 1 point, as a foul and one for number 23 for Cherokee, Jeremiah Shields, who had some limited minutes earlier today. He will go to the line with 32 seconds left. First of two, or I'm sorry, just the N one is good. 52-37. Bishop Eustace taking their time here. So Cherokee will fall to 3-3 as these guys pass it around the key. And Bishop Eustace will get off to a 6-0 run as they open up the new year on top. That shot gets blocked with 7 seconds left. Cherokee looking for one final drive. Layup by Shields is good. And that's going to do it here in Olympic Conference play. 52-39. Cherokee and Bishop Eustace duke it out. But the Crusaders win with authority. They take this one by double digits as Bob Falconero has win number 302. And the Crusaders, more importantly, are off to a 6-0 start. Like we said, the next game for Bishop Eustace is going to be versus Willingboro. And like I said, Bishop Eustace is a very good team. They use their size to their advantage. And what they did best today is they made sure Cherokee was never comfortable. They made sure that above all else, that nothing was going to get in the way of Bishop Eustace's offensive plan. They made sure that Cherokee was never going to be the ones to be first on a possession. They wanted to make sure that Cherokee was never going to be guarded too lightly, and they wanted to make sure that their defense was always going to pressure the guy with the ball and maybe even put one or two guys on him. So the way it is for Bishop Eustace is that when you have a tried-and-true coach like Bob Falconero, that's a winning program right there. If Falconero was in his first or second year, if I was broadcasting this game in 2006 when I was a one-year-old baby, maybe I would say Bob Falconero will be the next great head coach in South Jersey, just based off of how games are played like that. Bishop Eustace rarely got in their own way. They allowed Cherokee to make the mistakes for them, and they allowed the game to unfold on its own. They didn't really do anything that was third party or anything that would otherwise disrupt the natural flow of the game. They played 32 clean minutes, and they came out ahead because of it. So that'll be all for us tonight. We travel to Pennsauken on Saturday, January 4th for non-league action between the Collingswood Panthers and the Pennsauken Indians at 11 a.m. this coming Saturday. From our entire crew, our social media coordinators, Brandon DeKegerland and Anthony DePalma, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, along with Liam Nolan. My producer for the New Year tip-off, it's David Cohen. I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you on Saturday from Burlington County and Pennsauken for non-league action. It's Cherokee 39, Eustace 52, as the Crusaders remain undefeated. Have a good one, folks, and Happy New Year.